Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a end of the year live chat here from the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. We are here, guys. Man, this was a rush to get here tonight.
Why so, John?
It was so my day started out as I was going to be running down to go and pick up a desk for my son. We moved some kids around this weekend, and we're going to go get a desk so he could, get away from his brother. His teenage brother is all stinky now or whatever. So we went to go get a new computer desk, and we want it to be this wide and to be able to do this, that, the other thing. Well, turns out you can't find one like that. You have to build it, and that's not a huge thing. But then you got to go and get the parts, and then maybe we could go over there and find something. No.
Dude, just go to Lowe's or whatchamacallit, buy some drawer units, like cabinet units at the countertop, and
I remember my first desk was a cut-off door.
We looked at doors today too. We were going through, and it's like
throw some legs on it, you got a desk.
I made a monitor bridge out of a used door. I strengthened it by inserting a 2x4. All right, and I put it up on 2x4 legs with Luan sides, and then I wrapped those legs with carpeting. You would never know what it was.
Wait a second. No,
I don't think I know what it is.
This is a guy who is a cat person. So when you wrapped it in carpeting, those legs are probably shredded. They were like,
this was at the TV station, man.
It's a Christmas present for the kiddies.
Hey, listen, I have to keep I got a spare bedroom that I keep all my DJ gear in, and I have to keep that door closed religiously because my main portable DJ booth is carpeted. My turntable road case is carpeted. I think I got one more carpeted case. Other than that, I got SKB, and I got just a regular like anvil or whatever kind of case. But those, oh man, he's torn up more carpet. I have to sit there and trim it with a little razory thing. And
so, John, was it a success? Did you come off way with a finished product?
Well, we didn't have a finished product. We came back with pieces parts. When you go to Menards now, they do these glued pieces of pine board, and they're actually 1 inch and like 1/8 thick. And it's like, oh, I could make a table or a desktop with that. And the state of Minnesota has this auction thing that every few days there's new products and things that are offered from a different state agency around Minnesota. And I ended up bidding on these little wooden file cabinets, little oak file cabinets. And I think I threw a $30 bid or something like that in on, I think it was 8 of these they were solid oak file cabinets. They were the shorter 30-inch tall things. I ended up getting them, and they've been sitting in one of my DJ trailers because what do you do with them? I mean, it sounded like a great idea at the time until I got them. And it just turns out that, okay, so then we're thinking we could put those, one of those on the bottom, and we could put that inch and 1/8 boards on top, and then we could build up, and so we bought all the pieces, and they're in the truck. My son will be unloading most of that this evening, and I'll get the rest of it later today.
So it's a work in progress, and we'll get the update next week.
Yes, exactly. So I got a plan, and I had sketched everything out the way initially I wanted to do it, and then when we started looking at the particle board possibilities, and I didn't like that. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
So Dan, how was your day?
We are on baby watch and on countdown duty, and so today was trying to cram as much fun in for our 6-year-old as possible so that we could get ready because it's Wednesday. So
congratulations!
Yeah, this will be exciting.
Absolutely. How about you, Mama? What'd you do today?
I went and paid all the bills that hadn't been paid, and and hit Walmart for some. I didn't even want to go anywhere near there in Christmas, so with the week leading up to Christmas, I stayed away from that place. So I had to go get some vegetables and all that healthy stuff.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It was really hard to pass up the 50% off cookies though.
Bet it was.
Other goodies.
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what'd you get into?
Let's see. My wife kidnapped me, and we went grocery shopping and errand running. And then when we got back, we did Christmas decoration removal process, and got everything boxed up and ready to go back up in the attic, which I'll do tomorrow.
Whoa! Before New Year's?
Absolutely, sir. When the wife says do it, you go, yes, dear.
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go. Marriage.
There's no
Marriage lesson.
discussion about that around my house. It's just whenever she decides it's time.
You must you learn.
Well, we had
I plan to live a long and healthy life.
happy wife, happy life.
Oh, for sure.
So that was it, So errands, bank, grocery shopping, and Christmas decorations, all done.
So now, do you guys have to pull your decorations out of the snow and ice like we do, or?
No, today was barely coat weather. It was like 50 degrees, and only
Look
because
who you're asking. You're asking
The guy in Louisiana.
You guys are in Florida. One's in Louisiana, one's in North Carolina, and where are you at?
Me? I'm in.
Where's Stan live?
Oh, I'm Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
So we could
Okay,
be snow, but we're not.
Yeah, he was like running around in his swimsuit last week. I mean, it was.
Just
It's
about.
going to be 74 here tomorrow.
Gee, crickets. And we had like 0 overnight last night. Crazy cold.
John, I will say
Zero.
the new jackets were nice. They've been keeping me warm, but today I actually had to switch to the warm.
Yeah, they've got
so
a limit.
You're right. You were right with the fall, spring. They were good. In fact, they were good to about 40 degrees. We were lower than that today.
Yeah, see, it's 20 out. This is all I was wearing is just that and a t-shirt today, running
Well, that's
around.
because you're used to like negative 20.
Precisely.
So there's a difference.
I like to thicken the blood up and such.
Negative 20, and you're still in your swimsuit.
Yeah, and we're thinking,
So-
woohoo!
What did everybody get for Christmas?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That was one of the topics I wanted to hit. So, I've got a pretty good one here. We can chat a little bit about. Anyone else want to share first before we get into mine?
For me, I actually got a new winter coat. Not the nice one that I got from DJ News, but I got another nice one that my wife hooked me up with, and that was like my big present. Of course, my present to myself was my photo booth. But
Oh, nice.
Very
yeah,
nice.
I kind of been watching it for a while, and went back and forth. And Mike, you heard me kind of going about that quite a bit. And I think John, I even reached out to you as well for a couple things. So, but yeah, no, it came Tuesday last week. So I was just like, yay. And so, yeah, it's I played with it a couple times, and I'm excited now.
The fun part is going to buy the props though over at like Party City and.
Well, my wife and my assistant's girlfriend have already said they're going to handle that. Because they were like, they're so tired of us talking about the photo booth for the longest time. And they're like, all right, just buy this stupid thing already. But they said, as soon as you get it, we're going to handle the props. And I said, okay.
Does yours do chroma key?
I'm assuming you mean green screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind, I'm still the very novice at this. So, extremely novice. Yes, it has the ability to, it has the ability to, I have Dark Booth 2 that I'm using for it. But that's been, that's my software. Yeah, rub it in. Rub it in. You do realize if you make it too inviting, John and I are going to show up in your doorstep.
Exactly. We'll do the show from your house.
I got air mattresses. We'll blow them up and set you up in the kitchen.
All right.
Great. We won't miss breakfast.
Or coffee. Either one.
But yeah, James,
interrupt.
that's all right. To answer your question, yes, it does do chroma key. I don't have the green yet for it. I'm that was one thing.
I got a good source for you.
Yeah, I might have to definitely take you up on that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like
so it was a booth through Atlanta. I got the Venue Pro, so it's nice little stand up and stylish. It's the new one that they got out because I needed something small. So that was
the kit that would do the chroma key. It's got 3 panels: black, white, and green, and it comes with 2 lights and the stand to hold up, the backdrop for $120.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think is that through Amazon?
Either Amazon or eBay, one or the others.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember I did like just a generic search of wondering like
Yeah.
what am I running into to even try and do the backdrop part?
Yeah, it was
And I
nice.
think I saw some stuff like that.
Yeah, it was nice. It had soft boxes, which, it's really nice. I mean, they're just using fluorescents in their, CFLs, but, it still works good.
John, I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to throw out to the audience if there's any topics they want us to talk about next week to ask tonight.
We can do that. We can,
Yeah. Anybody has anything they want to talk about? Any subject at all in the DJ world?
especially that if it's more in depth than a quick answer. Like, Ian had a question about the Chauvet. He wants to use a soft. Let me get back to it exactly. A frost diffuser effect on his Chauvet 355Z.
Okay.
Yeah, we need Jeremy on for that one.
We would need Jeremy for sure on this one, but
yeah,
I think
Jeremy or Ben Stowe. I mean, diffusers will work on any light.
the one I think if I remember when we did this and it wasn't a Chauvet fixture, but we did it at one of the other manufacturers' headquarters when we were there. I think that they did a soft. They took it out of focus and got kind of a diffuser type look to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
but
Ian,
if you actually wanted to diffuse the light, and actually, just
brown it out a
actually
little
do the
bit.
technical parts of it. Roscolux is a company that's been around forever. They made gel material back in the day and were the industry standard before LED. And they make diffusers. And Ben Stowe over at LLFX has a diffuser pack that
Yes.
I bought and highly recommend. It's like 8 different diffusers in a single pack, and you can sit down with your light and put one on top of, put one on it, see what that does, put the next one on it, and then when you find the one you like, there's a number on that particular sheet, and then you can just order large quantities of that particular one. So highly recommend that diffuser pack from Ben.
Do you have a Roscolux little swatch?
Yes.
Yeah, I got one of those too, where you can order.
Yeah, it's hard to put that on your light because you don't. Like, it's only a little bitty.
Yeah, there you go.
For anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, it's a little book like this,
It's like
and
a paint swatch.
and it fans out, and there's all kind of colors and stuff. And they referred to this thing as a swatch book way back when.
Yeah.
You can still get them, but if we're trying to put a little bitty, this little bitty diffuser right there on top of a large Par 64, it's not going to work very well.
No.
So the diffuser pack is great, highly recommended. But hopefully that'll answer his question. I'll mention this while we're there. I ran into a problem because unlike stage fixtures in a theater, our lights, when we buy them as DJs, do not come with any kind of a way to hold the gels like a stage fixture would.
Some of them do.
Stage fixtures have 3 clips or 3 little stationary retainers, and you would slide this little plate in, and so it's so what I found, and works extremely well for me, is I ordered from Ben some diffusers that I liked. I ordered some gel holders that would completely cover my fixtures, and then I went and found a particular rubber band, the exact size, and it would go around the knobs on the side. So it connects to one, goes across the diffuser, and connects to the other knob, holds it perfectly, and there's no shadows or anything from the rubber band, so nobody knows it's there.
Cool.
So it's a quick fix for regular DJ fixtures, and still be able to get a diffuser.
If you're using ferrous metal and not aluminum, you could just put some magnets on. Actually, just stick the magnet will hold itself and hold the gel.
Possibly. Mine are plastic, so that wouldn't do me any good.
Oh, okay.
So no, you don't want to take it every single time, John.
Oh, sorry. That's
At least for some nasty residue, longer loadouts.
I don't know. I just I'm going with what I've got here, guys.
Rubber bands, my friend. Office Depot's got tons of them.
Yeah, that's for sure. Anthony, good evening.
Is my mic fine?
Oh,
Hi, welcome to the party.
there we hear you. There we
I'm
hear
on the
you.
computer.
Yeah, there we go. There you are.
Hang on. I have 2 apps playing at the same time.
Yep. Get yourself all set up here. We're gonna keep on going here.
I went to my office Christmas party. We actually have it as a show on the station. We have a sound stage, and we have our Christmas party live on air. And we use a camera crane and a stationary, camera on a tripod. And it's a lot of fun because we play Dirty Santa. And all we do is bring in a $10 gift, and a lot of people do crazy stuff, some adult theme things, and it gets a little crazy, but I made off with the premium gift.
Our tool is always a good thing.
So the boss throws in like a $50 to $100 gig, present. So Dirty Santa, you get to steal somebody else's present, and then after the third time it's out of play, and it turned out I got the right number and walked home with the Black & Decker toolkit. So cha-ching.
So that's called Dirty Santa. I'm familiar with the game of Dyson shaking and stealing, but not for Dirty Santa. I imagine that to be something completely different. Sorry.
I don't know. We call it that down here in the South, but it's where you can steal the previous person's gift, or you can go to the pile and get a fresh.
Exactly.
And it continues around and around and around. It takes forever, but it's always a lot of fun.
Well, that's why we limit it to 3 trades per item.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it doesn't go on forever.
Yeah.
And I scored.
Cool.
So, ching.
Any other questions, John?
No, nothing. Somebody was asking about snow here.
All right.
Not yet. We were, for a while they were looking like we might, let's see, Saturday they were talking we might have 6 inches. Then last night they were talking we might be pushing between 6 and 9. This morning they might, overnight tonight we might get 1 to 3. So we do have
Peter
snow.
Murray posted a picture of his office today, and you could see snow barely falling. So I need one out of your office, the time it's snowing in
We
your
got
place.
this much last night.
We'd call that about 4.5 inches, but that's us down here.
I shoveled the driveway 3 times.
That's what she said.
I'm glad you said it, Mike, because I was thinking it.
Well, Shaney wasn't here, so I figured I might as well.
Yeah.
There's a train wreck everybody's looking for.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I have some Roscoe Swatch books here if you guys want to see them.
They were just talking about that, and I think Mike had one, a variation.
You know how you can use those if you got an extra one? You can use it with those Chauvet pin spots. The ones where you can highlight tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use them to filter on those things. You cut them out and a little thing and slip it in there.
Yeah.
They're also great for the new LED night lights.
Yep.
You okay there, Anthony?
Yeah, I can just mute him here for a second while he gets himself set up.
He's renovating.
Yeah, he's got a new computer he's trying to get set up.
He's building his own desk.
He's building your desk, John.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if anybody wants one of those swatch books, you can contact Roscoe Lux Direct, and they will send them out. You can request them on their website.
I think at one time, Ben, if I'm not mistaken, I think the NLFX Pro booth, they had those at one of the DJ shows.
They may have. I know that we got them the year that I went to Minnesota to EV for the lighting symposium.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'd have them there.
Each of the attendees got a swatch book for that visit for the 2 days that we were there, and of course I got mine then. But they've been around forever, and usually if there's a theater in your area who orders a lot of gel material, they usually have extra old ones laying around that they'll give you.
Yeah.
See you later, Mr. De Palma.
Yeah, he's gonna go now. He's gonna make his desk. This will be our handyman videos for tonight, also. So
You can put it on both channels. Would be good.
yeah, we're going to play. So with Christmas coming up here last week, we went down to St. Cloud, and I very seldom buy anything. It's always for the kids and such. And this past year, we had gotten a Target gift card, and we weren't sure what to do with it, yada, yada, yada. So we ended up going to Target, and they had this little Sonos set, these 2 Play Ones. It was a package, which you can get them, Best Buy or anywhere it has it now. So we splurged and bought ourselves the Sonos set, which I would have never paid $359 for 2 speakers and never really, hearing them So,
Yeah.
but we decided, well, we have this thing. Let's just be a little silly and try it. And if we don't like it, we can always return it and then use it to buy, groceries and the responsible things that you would typically other stuff. Yeah, the stuff that's not as much fun. So we picked these up. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Sonos speakers, the whole concept behind is that they're a whole house sound system that you can set up to either have different songs or music playing in different rooms, or you can sync them all together and put them in a group and have them so they're all playing the same station, i.e. internet station. Well, I spend a lot of my time with music now is playing Slacker Radio, which is one that I do because they've got a nice little pops, kind of an adult contemporary station. We'll call it that. They call it, I think, Soft Hits. And it's something that we can play, and there isn't any profanity on it, so the kids can be in the room and everything's good. But it's playing a mix of older and newer music, so the kids are hearing Chicago, they're hearing some Beatles, they're hearing these types of things.
Steve Winwood.
Exactly. And so it's a nice variety of things. Again, it can go
Real
on.
music.
It can go in the background while we're working. So we get the Sonos thing, and I gave it to my techie son, my junior. Or excuse me, my freshman in high school, and said, "Hey, Brandon, here, go get these set up with my phone." He takes them, goes and sets them up with his computer in his room, and I don't see him for a couple of days. It's like, wow, there's some really good sound coming out of his bedroom. I go back there, and he's got them all set up, and it's like going. Next day, next day I finally got him to hook it up to in the house there, and it's a really cool thing because typically when we're running a Bluetooth, you've got the little Bose Bluetooth speakers and you're running it from your phone, and I'll have dropouts during the day for some I don't know what reason, but we'll have times where the thing will get a little choppy. We haven't had that with the Sonos system. It basically installs the app, I think, into the speakers is the best way I could describe it. And we can control it from any number of devices, but yet it's not dependent on our device to be in the house at the time.
Okay.
So I can be on the network. I can go and adjust the volumes, and I can walk out with my phone and drive away, and the music stays running all day. I can access it from Lori can access the whole system from her phone and my phone or the tablets. And as you're walking room to room, of course it's the same song, and you don't have any latency between the speakers. So I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. And these sound, for a little speaker, they sound really, really good. So we went back down to Best Buy, and it's like, hey, what can I do to hook up my TV into these little Sonos speakers, no latency, so that way in the long part of our house, we have the TV on one end of the room and having those little speakers, so we wouldn't have to have the TV as loud. This makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Best Buy sent me on a wild goose chase. The young man's like, here, this will do it. Take this home. Go. And I bought that. Didn't work at all. So today, that was part of this trip, is to go back down and take that back and pick up a couple of other pieces. The Sonos stuff is not cheap, for one thing. It's really expensive. But the idea of being able to have the TV hooked into these speakers so we can, again, have that sound when I'm cooking, basically the problem is that I'm about 40 feet away from the TV while I'm cooking, and I don't have a TV in the kitchen area itself. So it's like I'd like to be able to watch the news while I'm cooking. That's what I do. Yeah. So this will be interesting. I'm going to be getting that all hooked up tomorrow and seeing if it works as it's supposed to. And if it does, I keep thinking to myself, why don't we have this technology in DJ speakers where we can set up?
It's still, but I mean, it could overlap some kind of a way. So, you might want to end up doing a review on it.
Oh, yeah, I'm certainly going to do that. Yeah. I would. But the idea of having that ability to have, like, let's go into a banquet room, if it's
they're not loud enough to do a cocktail party, are they?
Oh, yeah. The Play 5 is.
Wow.
The Play 5, but the problem is they're $600 a pop, $599 or whatever they are.
Yeah, but if you're looking for something that's discreet.
Oh yeah, and they're nice and the dispersion and such. Even the little Play 1s are pretty good. It's interesting at Best Buy in the display. They have got the Play 1, and they haven't done any. Basically, I think the Play 1 is completely flat EQ wise because it does not sound like it does at home when I was listening to it. They probably even maybe took the bass down a little bit. Then they've got the Play 3, which is the middle one. The Play 3, they must have just killed the equalizer on it because it sounds like crap. The Play 1, which is less expensive, sounds better than the Play 3, which is a little bit more expensive, about $100 more. Then you go to the Play 5, which is the biggest one, and I think with that one, they took and boosted the bass a little bit more because it sounds fabulous. And you're like, oh my, so it's like this kind of a version of bait and switch. You listen to the Play 1, you're like, oh, that's not bad, but it's okay. Then you listen to Play 3, and you're like, oh, that's horrible. You listen to Play 5, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to spend the money. And really, I would have going to Best Buy today. I would have done that if I wouldn't have already owned a couple of the Play Ones and knew that these things really do sound good. And as we're going around, they're probably the closest to the higher end Bose Bluetooth speaker of any speaker that I've tried. And I think this fall we've had like 7 different Bluetooth speakers come through.
Yeah.
And some of them have been terrible. Some of them have been okay. I mean, I one of them that came in was from the C Crane company. If you guys are familiar with C Crane, they make some really they made their name for high end AM radios about 15 years ago. It was really where they were popular. So they've got some decent electronics, battery chargers, what have you. That Bluetooth speaker from C Crane was terrible. It was embarrassing.
Have you ever heard of this guy?
I have not seen that one yet.
Fubar, or Fugu.
Fugu, yep.
Yeah, Fugu. Fubar is the movie.
Fugu.
Top Gun. Anyway, my half brother's got one of those things. I heard it 2 years ago. Was thoroughly impressed. It's a Bluetooth speaker that you can submerge it in the water. It's waterproof. The whole thing. It's a 40-hour battery life and pairs with your phone or any other Bluetooth device. But the quality of the sound is very similar to Bose anything I've ever heard. It's just really, really good and very impressive. So anyway, I got one for Christmas. So in addition to using it for backyard barbecues and other small things where you just need bigger sound than your phone, but nothing worth grabbing a speaker out of your trailer for, this will be a nice filler. And then also, I thought about using it because I put most of my clients' music on my phone as backup anyway.
Yep.
So during our meetings, it would be great to be able to just play it from that and have real high quality sound right there on the table during the meeting, and not have to set up a laptop and all that stuff to get better quality than my phone could deliver.
Oh yeah, I've done that on a couple of occasions. Taking that little Bose, battery the battery one. It's small, it fits in your pocket, and I gone to the coffee shop and set it on a table, kind of out of the way, so it's not like people are seeing it and being very obvious that we're going to get loud. And then you can play it, and it have to keep the volume way down because those things for the size do have quite a thump.
Incredible quality.
Yeah.
About them. Yeah, they really do.
And yet some of them, we were at Sam's Club last week, and they've got, I think, about 8, 9, 10 different Bluetooth speakers there, and some of them are just horrible. It's like, wow. Mm-hmm. But Ian asked if the idea with ceremony, and that was really one of my first thoughts with this, is that a person could have a network. You could have these little speakers. You can just set them around, and they've got such a great sound, and they're all synchronized wirelessly via your Wi-Fi. I don't know why, and maybe at NAMM this is something. Hopefully we will see. I did call the Sonos people and I talked to their tech support, and it's like, okay, 2 questions: is there an outdoor version, and is there a pro version? No, and not yet.
Oh, okay. Not yet.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, so
it's the Play 8. You know, be there next year.
Exactly. Well, no, they'd have to make
3 versions of the ones before.
They'd have to make a 2 version.
The Play 8 Pro.
Yeah, they'd have to have a Play 8 and a Play 8 Pro. The Play 8, they'll have to make sure, okay, now when you guys set this up, make sure you cut the EQ right here. So and in the Play Pro, make sure you bump the EQ right there. So then the display is set
perfect.
Well, they could do that in their on-shelf demo modes, right?
You know, I'd be curious, and I'd be curious to dig into these just a little bit. You piqued my curiosity, just from the sound, or just from the aspect of the sound send and that kind of thing. Like, what are we really missing in these that's making the difference? But in the same respect, that $500 a pop for these little things, maybe that's the difference. Like, why do we not have them in the big speaker? Because the technology to be there is here.
The one overwhelming,
I mean? like to get to do it on that pro level, especially for what we would use it for.
The one thing that keeps coming up over and over and over again with Bluetooth is the limited line of sight range, right? So that's the one thing that just keeps coming up. So they're going to have to work on that if they want to continue down this line.
Yeah, and that's where the Sonos technology really shines, is because it's all done via Wi-Fi. And in our case, we've got huge antennas on our Wi-Fi routers that we have. We have some Asus things in there that, again, I don't know that much about, but my oldest son, who's really good with that, he set it up so we can go, 1/8 mile through walls and everything and have a decent signal. That technology, though, with that Wi-Fi is really, really a cool technology. And I'm thinking that in the DJ application, someone's going to have a version of that. Trying to think of one of the Newmark companies. Was it? Oh, I can't remember who had it. Somebody has a little device where you can have the audio going in and it transmits to two receivers.
Is it Alto?
Alto. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alto's got two versions of that, and there's another version that was coming out, but I don't even think as of this fall that they had that one ready for prime time yet. It's not working on Wi-Fi, but it is working on a different frequency range than Bluetooth. So it had a range, I think you were talking up to 300 feet.
All right.
So it'll be
I
interesting.
remember talking with Ben Stowe. This was I don't know what while ago when I was thinking about I was getting new wireless speakers or not speakers, sorry, wireless mics.
Yeah.
I was looking at some digital realm for those, and the one thing that he kind of came back was a lot of the digital aspect, which is what these almost probably have to be to get the right quality, was going to run an issue of that band. Sounds are getting so filled with all of our devices and our Wi-Fi's and the Wi-Fi's and you're talking about being in a hotel and they have to have how many different ones running that it becomes almost problematic to get into that realm. So I would wonder if we'd run into that same type of thing. Like you're in a house, you're not running into that same type of issue as you would at a venue or at a more populated area where it needs, where it's outside of the confines of just your home.
I think that's going to be a very big component of why the Wi-Fi part, because when we get to these major conventions, we're at Atlantic City, and you can see that we have signal or that the signal's there, but we're all fighting for that bandwidth, and we're all on the same channel, and we're not getting anything. So I think that's definitely probably one of the concerns. That alone might be what's keeping some of the manufacturers from going there. My guess, though, is Apple is very proprietary with their technologies, and they have different agreements with Best Buys and Targets and different things on how you can sell their products. Sonos has got the same level of agreements where you cannot do this, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. I'm wondering if part of the reason why no one else is doing it is that if Sonos has got that technology so tied up that no one can use it right now. That would be my guess, just from seeing it. It seems that they've got a lot of their I's dotted and T's crossed when it comes to protecting their butts and their investment. And the biggest downfall I see with their whole system is that you go to Best Buy and the Best Buy sales experts are not knowing what the heck they're doing, to the point of they're giving, oh, yes, I know what I'm talking about. I'd rather come up there and say, dude, I don't know. Let's go watch a Sonos video together, compared to, oh, yes, this will work. Here, go. I mean, today, my final question to the guy is the wire I need to connect this in here? Is that that digital wire or whatever it is it in the box? Yeah, it's in the box. So we'll find out.
Read the back of the box first.
I did. I went, and it doesn't say yay or nay. I Anthony, that's exactly what I was trying to do.
How about go out in the parking lot, open it up. If it ain't in there, march right back in.
And I thought about doing that too, but we had it was cold, the wind is blowing, and I knew I was running low on time.
Well, couldn't you have them open the box right there before you went out the door with it?
They are very reluctant to do that in stores.
They
these
are.
days,
They are very much so.
Well, and I got into an argument with a guy one time at Circuit City. They're no longer in business in our area, but they were a Best Buy competitor.
Yeah,
and the guy absolutely refused to open the box in the store because they had a policy that if the box was open, they had to discount it.
B-stock, yep.
And he was absolutely, you could go outside and open the box if you wanted and return it, but it could not be opened in the store.
Yeah.
So bring a box cutter, throw it in your shopping cart, go down a lonely aisle where nobody's around. Open it up.
Sounds like an Eagles song. Go down a lonely aisle.
Well, I'd have to go get my box cutter out of my luggage, and I don't want to do that.
Let me tell you a Best Buy story.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask where our buddy MJ was tonight.
MJ's just kind of vegging. This is kind of MJ's time of the year just to kind of kick back and relax because things kind of slow down on the whole bar scene and such. Yeah, there's New Year's Eve and such, but it's just it's that time where, and I think that he loves the outdoors and he loves warm weather, and he had that up until recently, and I think that now that he's getting into the cold weather, he's going to start to veg a little bit.
Ah,
No. We know the truth. The truth is that he got a new doll for Christmas, and he's playing with it instead of being on here with us.
see, I was going to go the other way. I was going to go. He had a gig tonight, and we got the the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
No, it's the doll.
We don't pay as much. But.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, you're
we don't have
missed,
dolls.
MJ, wherever you are.
We don't have dolls either. Anthony, you mentioned a Best Buy story. What do you got?
I was in Best Buy the other day with my mom, looking at the computer I have sitting in front of me right now. But my grandfather wanted a tape deck for Christmas, right? And we were standing right in front of the section with all the Bluetooth speakers, and we asked 4 people, "Do you have tape deck CD players in stock?" All of them said, "No, we don't carry them." Sitting right there, 2 feet to my left, there's a CD player with a tape reader and speakers. 2 feet to my left. I asked 4 people.
And I think that's part of, I think why Best Buy they complain and they're, we're struggling and we're having such a tough time. I think part of it is that whether it's turnover or they're not preparing their staff properly, I couldn't tell you for sure, but I've not heard a person recently in a year and a half, 2 years that have said, the service I got at Best Buy was so awesome. I mean, really the biggest sales point for Best Buy is that it's down the road. And if you want, you can get 73 months of 0% financing, so you can pay for that $30 item incrementally for the next 4 years.
I think over your head, we have this geek counter over here that you can go talk to these guys.
I think they're lacking anything like you talked about them being down the road. They're lacking anything local competitor wise. At least in their viewpoint, like as where they look at it, because they're like, we're not a Walmart, we're a specialty store. We'll match prices, okay, so we're gonna they have the air of being this way, but Circuit City is long gone, and I think Best Buy was more renowned or was more focused on making sure they knew what they were talking about when they had a Circuit City, when they had a Radio Shack. I mean, those are few and far between right now as well. I know there are other ones out there, but like in my area, there's no real competitor for.
There's no stereo store anymore. There's
No,
no stereo
but
or
Walmart's electronics, comes close to. I mean, it's less customer service, but it, as far as details and knowledge, but it does semi-rival the inventory that Best Buy has.
Yeah, but where can you go get something like a Marantz, or where can you go get something?
I don't think Marantz is still in business.
Well,
I've repaired many of
what
them in
I'm
my
saying.
day.
All right. Let's go back.
Amazon.
I mean, you want a Phase Linear amp too? You remember those?
Oh yeah.
Let's go way back.
The nice champagne finish.
Sansui receivers.
No,
Reels.
where is the local stereo shop where you had the guy that actually knew what he was talking about?
A few blocks down the street.
Yeah, you might have somebody. I can't think of anything.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because electronics has become disposable. I mean, back in the day, I used to have an electronics repair shop, and we actually repaired stuff down to component level for 10 years. And VCRs, home stereos, and limited TVs. And but all of that stuff is disposable. Who's going to repair something or sell you something, other than a big box retailer when you can? What's the price of a VCR these days? $35.
Have you looked at what the size of a resistor is now?
Sure, they're all surface mount stuff.
It's literally a half a grain of rice where
Sure.
it used to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, but
serviceable.
so it's really not feasible both price-wise, electronics-wise, and so, people send that stuff off, and most of those companies are either got, one guy sitting in the shop all day repairing the same brand over and over and over again with the same everything, and then, he determines in 15 seconds whether he's going to replace the board or, as an entire unit or chunk it, or repair it or whatever. So, but as far as like the retail side, what you're talking about, I think the last remaining quote stereo shop, if there is anything remotely close to that in the United States, would be Radio Shack.
Well, what about Sam
Not a
Ash?
stereo shop anymore.
What about Sam Ash and JR Music World and?
We don't have those, on a nationwide basis. I mean, every city's got a Radio Shack.
Crutchfield?
I'm sorry?
What about Crutchfield?
Don't have that locally. Maybe, like I said, you can mail order anything you want, but
Yeah.
the local walk in the door and talk to a guy that knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, that just doesn't exist anymore.
I don't think so. I don't
No,
either.
it really becomes it becomes a review thing down on Amazon. Really, we don't have the ability to ask questions. Maybe if we can go directly, but it's
But
not
in
there.
their defense, let's be honest. We go to those stores, we look at it, we play with it, we ask all the questions, and then we go home and order it on the internet. So, you got to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, but
Those
and
stores
I'll use
can't
this
stay in
example.
business without support.
I went into Best Buy. I mean, and we'll throw them under the bus since we already have so already. Just the other night, I guess it was Christmas Eve. I went out. I was looking for a laptop battery to replace my wife's because hers had kind of gotten shot. And a couple years ago, I'd gone into Best Buy and I'd gotten one. And I went in and I was like, okay, I'm looking around, can't find them. Guy goes, can I help you? Yeah. Where can I find laptop batteries? We don't carry them. Okay. And I start walking towards the door. Oh, but we can order them. I'm like, if you're going to order it, I'm just going to go someplace else who's going to order it and get it to me faster and
cheaper and no tax.
probably cheaper. Well, we have to do the tax on Amazon, but
Yeah.
but still, I'm like, if you're going to do that, what's the convenience? What's the purpose for me coming in here? Like at that point, what are you offering me that I'm not going to get someplace else?
That's what Guitar City's getting like now. Guitar City, you can't buy anything brand new. DJ wise, you might be able to get speakers, you might be able to get a light here and there, but if you want like a controller brand new, they might have a few cheapos, but you can't walk in there and say, I want an MS7 III. We can order it for you, but
they just don't stock it, or I haven't been to a Guitar Center.
they don't stock it.
I think it depends upon the size of the Guitar Center too, because I've seen some other, certain places are carrying maybe not 5 or 6 of them, or they have one, other than what's being on display. But I think it depends upon the size, just from that aspect. And then that probably is what I'm running into at the Best Buy. I'm in a small area. We've got a smaller store.
Mm-hmm.
Still, it's like,
Hey, John,
it's got to be
I got this for Christmas, and it's all your fault.
Nice.
You said it was an easy read. I bought it.
Yeah,
I put it on my wish list.
It is. It's a great read. It's one of those I've gone back and read sections of that off and on. It's good stuff.
I'm paying attention, man. I'm learning.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed that book. I enjoy that book a lot.
Did you guys see Future Shop down in the U.S.?
Say it again.
Future Shop.
I'm not sure if I heard you right. Your mic is really, really tough to understand. Give it one more time.
Future Shop.
Future Shop?
Future Shop, I think is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I've not heard of it. No, I don't think that must be up there.
In Canada, they were I'll fix it. They were they owned Best Buy, and they were like the commission-based Best Buy. So they had the better staff. Everybody would go into go into Future Shop, get the better staff to help you, and then just buy it from Best Buy at a cheaper price. Same company. But
Okay. But I don't know about Future Shop.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of it. Heard of that.
no, they're Canadian. So
Yeah.
they're gone now because they said I buy to all the company.
Yeah, I mean, we used to have a very high-end, it was called Audio King, and then it went to Ultimate Electronics, were the two companies, the transition. That was the strongest push for Best Buy, because it was like if you wanted a quality TV, you would go to, if you wanted the higher-end Mitsubishi or one of those, you'd go to Audio King, and then you'd go to Best Buy to buy the entry level, and then if you wanted the really crappy stuff, you'd go, at that time, to Target and buy the $99 version of that TV. Now it's changed a little bit with Audio King's gone, and then you've got Best Buy that's carrying kind of a mid to upper level in some cases and lower. And then you get into Target and Walmart carrying their own versions of the same model TV, but with another letter, so you can't price compare across the board and do it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, like on their specialty stuff, like for before Christmas and before the Super Bowl, Walmart will go to a manufacturer. Here's what we want to sell the TV for. Can you make us one that'll fit this price point? And they do. And it's made just for them. And, it's made a little cheaper. And, that's why you're buying.
Surprised me, but is this something you know firsthand, or is this something you heard?
Yeah. This
That's
actually,
true.
there was somebody had that in their presentation, talked about Walmart, and they were talking,
They're buying millions of pieces.
Yeah, Snapper. This is Snapper lawnmowers. This is something they brag about. Is that Walmart came to them and basically told them that we will carry you, but we need you to make the machine to get to this price point. And that meant that they looked at it and it's like, okay, this is a million lawnmowers potential sale, what have you.
Sure.
Or we can hold to what we and basically turn them down and not let them carry Snapper lawnmowers, and that's what they did. So in the homeowner industry world, that was a story they wanted to share, is that we're not going to cut corners and reduce the quality of our machines to let Walmart sell our machines. So if you want your machines, you're going to have to go to a local dealer. You're going to spend a little bit more, but you're going to be getting a higher quality.
Reverse engineering, reverse psychology.
To a point, yes.
Yeah. Very nice.
Oops, show that. There we are. Okay. So yeah, that was kind of a cool thing. And then I don't know if you guys are hearing much about the upcoming CES, Consumer Electronics Show, coming up here early January down in Las Vegas. That takes up the convention center and it goes into different casinos and their meeting space.
Wow.
This is so big that one person, I don't even know if a team of 3 people could cover the whole CES show.
Wow.
We have press passes and we have some people going to it, and we'll be doing a little bit there. But the part I wanted to share with you guys is that because I'm listed as press or media, I get emails from these different companies saying, "Hey, can you stop by our booth? We're in booth number da 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 da." The number of companies that hire PR firms that are out there repping these, and they send this email out to me because they get the list of all the media, and it's okay, so it says "Hi John," okay, great, that's typical. And it's like, hey, we're excited. We're going to be at this, and we're going to be at booth this, and we'd love to set up a time to meet with you. Let me know what works for you. Okay, they're a PR firm. I go and look at their email, check out their URL, because they did not have a link in the email to me. I check out, and it's a PR firm. It doesn't say who. You can't go through the PR firm's website and find out who it could possibly be. So then I go and I'm looking around. There is nothing. I've had about 25 of these types of emails coming from different companies that I have no idea who they are until it's like, who in the heck are you trying to solicit or trying to connect us with? I don't even know if you're a flashlight company, a cell phone company, if you're a vibrating bed company. I don't know any of this. And the numbers, it's like, oh my gosh. So when we're out there whining about DJs being really half at it and not really, on the ball, and a lot of guys are cutting corners and doing stupid things, we're not alone, gang.
No.
Out in the rest of the world, there are just as much bad business people and horrible, and some of these people are being paid to be bad. Oh, maybe I should put a link in my emails when I send them out. A gal replied to last week. Oh, can't believe
Horrible.
it. Can't believe it. So there's a lot of cool technology though that's going to be coming out with the CES show, and we've been getting some of it's really kind of a neat thing that it's going to affect the DJ industry in about 2 to 3 years. Some of this technology that we're getting some teasers on right now. So I'm trying to organize my notes on this and get some of these URLs so that we can, in about 2 weeks or so, just before CES or while it's going on, whatever. But early January, that we can have a show where we're just going to go and kind of talk and give our thoughts on these things. So I got to prepare and get you guys the links and the notes of what I'm seeing out there. But there's a lot of cool things, and probably the thing that I've seen the most, and it's kind of a head scratcher for me, is the number of apps that are out there to make your life easier. And it's whether it's a scheduling thing or keeping track of this or keeping track of that or these little things, and it's like, how is that news? How is that earth-shattering? And I don't know, and I've got to dig into some of these a little bit more, but I mean, we have a number of apps that can keep track of this and do that and be here, be there, and tell us when the moon and
But it's not mine, John.
It isn't. Yeah,
It's
you're
not
not
mine.
Yeah. And the number is, we just
Mine
completed
is the best.
we just completed a successful
The
Kickstarter
one I
campaign.
never created that I'm just bragging about.
Exactly.
It's got to be the best.
It is, and you need to send me money, man, to buy this. So yeah, it's an interesting show, and we've. Again, I think last year we had 2 or 3 people that were down there, and there's not a ton of things that are directly DJ related, but there's some neat things there.
Hence
And-
the name.
Yeah, Consumer Electronics Show. I've talked to my boys about it because I think they would get a kick out of going down there because they're more into that techie, geeky stuff than I.
Sure.
And the problem is, of course, is that it's going on January school, and my now freshman, he was like, when I'm old enough to go, we're going. And then, of course, he got involved with the play, and he's involved with this, and all of a sudden, girls aren't ugly anymore. So, he may not be going with me until he graduates from high school.
Yeah.
So-
I want to go.
It would be fun. The size and hotel rooms. Oh my gosh, Circus hotel rooms, guys. If you've ever been to Circus, A, it's not nice. B, it's usually cheap as snot. $350 a night for Circus crap rooms.
Try going there during NAB.
I just want you to know that while y'all are toughing it out, we'll be celebrating Mardi Gras in Louisiana.
Okay, scratch that, John. I want to go with Mike.
I want a king cake.
Yeah, I think we should go down there, and we definitely should go down there and go live.
Come do the live show down in New Orleans. I'll come meet you guys.
That'd be great. Oh, that would be.
Send me some king cake.
Yeah, that would be cool. We got lots of it around here. And
All right.
beignets.
Beignets.
See,
Beignets,
those
yeah.
are all foreign things. I mean, if it's not lutefisk or
Alligator on a stick.
hot dish.
Yeah, got that too. Alligator, crawfish. Crawfish are back in season. I'm ready to get my first batch for the new year.
Yeah, gotta suck that out and then eat it.
Anyway,
Yeah, see, we don't.
so Consumer Electronics Show will be great. Looking forward to the
Yeah,
recaps.
that should be
and,
fun.
and all the new stuff.
That should be a fun show. And then after, on the heels of that, we'll be headed off to NAM. In the week of NAM, we'll do our show on Monday.
Yeah.
And then I fly out Tuesday, and I'm gone Tuesday through Sunday. So we'll be doing a little bit of a pre-NAM discussion, because I think for that Monday night, I should have from 3 different manufacturers a little teaser of what they're coming out with.
Can that start with, what does it stand for?
National Association of Music Merchants.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. See, he went last year.
National Association of
Music.
Music Merchants.
It is
Yeah,
one of
that's
the
a mouthful.
biggest nonprofit. I think the way it really is technically a not-for-profit, but they refer to it as those in the DJ industry. It's the biggest nonprofit that holds an annual convention and is making a ton of money. And we're going back into this whole discussion earlier in the year when they were talking about that the DJ industry needs a nonprofit instead of a for-profit, and da-da-da-da-da-da. A lot of politics with that, but it is.
All I can say is the NFL.
Oh, another can of worms.
The
Yeah,
NFL is nonprofit too. So yeah, well, that works.
yeah. They don't make any money at all. They're
No, not all.
I saw the players the other day cutting coupons.
Exactly. Next to that, they stored them under their big Rolex watch heads.
Exactly. You take
Right there, they
after
just
4
stuck 'em
o'clock
underneath.
coupon.
They've been drinking generic
Wait, I'm
Gatorade.
at Target. Here, wait, I got a coupon. Hang on.
Yeah, exactly. Can I get another 5% off this order, please?
Yeah, here's my favorite nonprofit statement. Nonprofit, meet profit. Hi.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, I'm a for-profit company.
Yeah, we like to think that, we like to say that, but sometimes it just doesn't seem that way when we get to this time of the year and we're trying to put those tax numbers together. And it's like,
Yeah.
that didn't work quite right.
Well, when the IRS makes more than we do, that's not right. Something wrong with that equation.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way.
But it's okay. I'd rather that than the opposite and be looking for work and money and
Oh, exactly.
house notes and such things. So, I'm not going to complain.
Once again, another plus to being part-time is I can use my expenses as a good write-off.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
To a point, I missed those days in the early 90s when I was teaching full time, and I had that ability to basically, when it got to the end of the year, all the money that was paid in, because I had them take out maximum amounts, and it's like, holy cats! That first year of a full year of teaching, and then of course all the write-offs and such, and it's like, wow, look at this refund check, woo! And he's
How
like,
many kids did you have back then?
none. That was before kids. It was just
See,
a business.
If you had all the kids and that,
Ah,
It would have been a
I
different
see
world.
where he's going. He's stacking up your refund for
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
there you
Well,
go.
Yeah, and every time I tell people,
allowance, the deductible for the part-time business, and a little bit for Santa Claus, and a little bit more for Santa Claus.
exactly.
John's going, I don't know what these guys are talking
No,
about.
John's
I've
frozen.
I've been there.
There. Okay.
Yeah, I should be moving, guys. At least I'm moving on this
There.
end.
You are now. Yeah, it might just
It
screen.
was just me going.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be there. That was back in the day, and we actually were looking at the numbers the other day of back in the mid '90s when we were a large multi. We were the largest multi in this part of the state at the time. We were running 16 shows every weekend, and we look back at that, and the way, even though we were running quote a business, that as our sales increased, it was like our debt was continuing to go, and they were not on the same plane whatsoever because of having to buy the additional gear and the additional music, because we had to buy music for those shows. And you put all that together, and wow, it was amazing how much debt we accrued during these times where we were doing, between a quarter and $500,000 in sales a year. It just wasn't, the two weren't going together.
Yeah.
Some people said I was overpaying my staff at the time. That was one of the first times I heard the whole concept of your DJ staff should be making less than a third of the event. That most of the guys would prefer to pay about a quarter of the take to the talent. And of course that wasn't how we did things and such. And maybe if I would have done that, that wouldn't have made, the two would have been closer together instead of, going backwards for so long. But
By contrast, I have an arbitrary number I want to throw out at you.
Uh-huh.
When I used to manage Radio Shack stores, my district manager would ring my phone and chew me out if my payroll percentage ever got above 8%.
Wow.
8.
Yeah.
And I managed Radio Shack stores for a long time. But national payroll, they want it to be less than 8%. And if you hit 8 or greater, the phone's going to ring and it's going to be your DM, and it's not going to be a pretty phone call.
There was a lot of unpaid work at Radio Shack.
Oh, I would imagine so. If the
hourly wage stuff,
But there was no way you could do overtime and not exceed the 8%, I would think, in a course of a month.
They were, I guess from what I read online, they expected their managers to work really hard.
Yeah, they did. They paid us well, but we worked our buns off. But I'm not knocking Radio Shack by any stretch. It's just
that's
it's
the
my
reality.
only corporate retail experience with a nationwide chain where I could quote a specific number firsthand and know for a fact that's what it was back in the day.
How much do you think an XLR connector costs now at Radio Shack if you walk into the store to buy one to replace one on your microphone?
$15.
Like today?
If you had to buy, just say
today?
A replacement one, solder it on yourself. Yeah, how
I'm
much?
saying that. I'm asking you, when am I buying this? Today or back?
Today.
Probably
$15.
$6, $4, $5, $6, somewhere up in there.
$10.
10. Okay.
Yeah, which would be 15 in Canada.
They're very proud of their XLRs. I haven't bought one from Radio Shack in a long time.
Yeah.
I personally prefer either Nutrix or Switchcraft, and I buy those from a commercial place that's a little closer to me.
I used to buy Switchcraft. I'm now a big fan of Nutric, simply because I always used to lose those little screws if I screwed them in too far or screwed them out too far, and
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So what else you want to talk about before we run out of time?
Oh, I think guys, we're about 8:30. I think we might need to wrap things up and go and check out and see what the family's up to tonight.
So ask questions all week long if you want to know about them next week.
Yeah, exactly. You guys can put those down in the comment section, or you can message us on Facebook, whatever works the best for you, and we will do our best to address those. We do have a couple of questions that some folks have put up that are going to be future shows that are more in depth than anything we're going to get even on tonight types of shows, because they're things that we need to get out to our people so that they can do a little research and things. So those are going to be somewhere in January, February. Yeah, exactly. We're not experts, but really the part when you guys are asking the questions, some things we can get information to. Some things we'll know we need to have a Jeremy Breck or a Ben Stowe or someone like that drop in. And some of the stuff really we can't give you much of an answer, but we can give you an opinion. And those are the types of things that for some people, you're just unsure about something in your business. It's cool. You can use this as a sounding board because we've got years of experience and we have a variety of different experiences in the group that comes together on Monday nights. Sometimes we can give you some really good advice. Sometimes we'll give you bad advice. But hey, that's America. We can do that.
You get what you pay for.
Exactly. You will get your money's worth
Free.
each and every time.
We're right here.
Money,
We're
your
available.
money's worth or your money back.
Exactly. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, guys, we'll wrap things up, and we'll be back again next Monday night at 7:30, 8:30 Eastern.
So
Thank you for
long.
watching. Good
Bye,
night,
everybody.
everyone.